Fishing. Ooh. Yeah. Let me make sure I'm on. I'm on. We started, by the way.
We started.
Yes, we have started. See.
Hey, YouTube. What's poppin'? Big Rose.
I'm glad you can't see her. I know you're all going to be wondering why I've got my shades on.
You always have your shades on.
Of course. Of course, you never leave your yard without your essential tools. You know, a lot of you are going to be asking.
I've left my house without my essential tool.
Preparation, my people. That's important. In fact, we'll be getting into that on this episode. I know you've missed us. I hope that the plethora of content we've given you has been enough for you.
No, I didn't. Psych.
What was it?
Psych. Here's my lip gloss.
Come see women. Come see women.
I mean, other than my phone, essential, you know, you got to
what is a woman's
stay
essential?
popping, you know what I'm saying?
Before we start, what's a woman's essential?
What's essentials?
What's
okay.
Women's essentials?
First of all, let me put this back into my bag, otherwise I'm going to be waving around like this. Okay, hold on.
She's going to do me harm with it. I'm just...
What did you just say?
I say nothing.
Hey.
Woman's essential.
Depending on the season, right? Essentials could be different, but definitely lip gloss, definitely your phone, definitely a charger, which often I might not have, to be honest. Doing better on that.
A little bit.
Nobody's perfect. End of the day, some tissue, maybe some baby wipes, maybe some chewing gum.
I thought you were about to say baby oil.
Your keys. That's this. Okay, I don't know.
Man's essentials, your phone, keys, and a wallet.
100% perfume.
Nah, but you really want to walk around with your perfume? Not really.
That's why you have a collection. You choose which one you're going to walk out the house with.
What's in the whole bowl? But who wants to be walking around?
It could be a small size bowl, or it could be a travel size bowl. But the point is, you have a collection and you pick. This is the fragrance of the day. You might have a go-to scent, so that's going to be in my bag.
Men.
But anyway.
Simple way of living. Women, she wants to take out the whole yard and the bathroom. Can you imagine? But
yeah.
What she's gonna do, y'all. But welcome. We're back with another episode. Creative Conversation. It's your favorite host, MDS, or Creative MDS, as you would say.
Who said that you're the favorite? Maybe I'm the favorite.
I'm most definitely the favorite. Everyone will tell you, see how he smiles, see how he lights up the room, his energy is just ecstatic, you know. Mm-hmm. I can't help it, people. You know what I mean? It's for you. It's for all of you. All the support you give us, it makes you want to keep going. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, anyway, it's Big Rose, Big Brr. You know, if you don't know, you get to know. Stay lit about this shit.
I think they know now. I think by now they would know.
Yeah, you got to know. You have to know, because obviously you wouldn't be the favorite.
You're trying to say, you know, I'm going to put a poll up. We're going to see who's the favorite. It's definitely going to be me. Today's...
Maybe it is.
She's gonna get me after. Today we're gonna be talking about the culture, not just majority our culture, but we're gonna be trying to include other cultures as well, and how our culture is perceived, basically based off of other people's, or not only other people's perception, but our own perception as well. And if our perception of our culture does good for us or does bad for us, which is something I wanted to ask you. Let's say it was a question I wanted to pose, not just to you, but to our audience as well. That's right. Do you feel like our culture is good for us or bad for us? Is it of detriment to us, or does it benefit us? Because, actually, you go first and then I'll answer. And why? Let's go with why.
Oh, that's a very subjective question. I think that definitely...
You think it's subjective? In fact, let's start with that.
I definitely think it's subjective based on what you've experienced in your lifetime.
Okay, before you even go with that, now, for me, I feel like, yes, you may experience certain things, but those experiences don't define who you are. It may contribute, but it won't define.
Yeah, no, nothing can really define who you are. Maybe you could say it may add to characteristics of who you are. I wouldn't say they wouldn't define you, because by definition doesn't change, right? So
True.
I think obviously as people we are forever evolving, not just our culture, but just as humans, but as a specific culture. There are obviously, as we know, like there are things tailored towards our culture specifically, like way that is kind of like it's a bit self-defeating. Like we spoke about drum music before. We spoke about
YouTube, Black YouTube. We haven't really got into that.
I wouldn't get into that, to be fair. I think more so, let's just talk about on a more whole stream media sense.
Okay.
How we're portrayed in the media, I think it's not the best.
Okay.
I think also there should be better representations of how we should be portrayed in the media. Not to say, again, anybody's not perfect. I definitely see horrible representations of every culture, right?
Do you see it as much with other cultures that you do with us? Like,
I'm not paying attention as much to other cultures as I do with us. That's the difference as well.
okay. Is that a choice thing, or do you feel like if they're just not represented as much?
That could be a choice, but that's also a thing where, like you said before in our previous episode, that we are, been made to be the entertainers, right? So
100%.
there is a lot of that in the media. So we can obviously see how that is kind of tailored to be like, you know what, this is, what you guys want me to focus on. But then again, media is tailored for everybody to focus on specific things. So it's not just our community.
Okay.
I would say, I was going to bring up, the point that I did a previous conversation about They Clone Tyrone.
Yeah, okay.
So I feel
that
like
Netflix show. There you go.
They Clone Tyrone, if you've seen it, then you've seen it. There is a show on Netflix. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a really good show, but obviously the message behind it is quite deep. If you catch it, you catch it. Sometimes I think I watched it twice. I think I understood the message behind the movie, but when I watched it again, there had been things that I had missed, and I picked up on it again.
All right, so then before we even continue, let's stick with that point right there. So,
right.
As you started with that, I want to ask you one thing. So, like we said before, let's say, for example, the way we're perceived, or the way we're pushed out to people in media, let's say movies and series, is that good for us or is that bad for us? Like you said, We Clone Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get from We Clone Tyrone as a black person in the black community? What did you gather from it?
Ooh, that... I feel like I don't want to be that person, because I feel like I talk about this every time I get on camera.
No, I gotta say it. It's important.
I'm gonna say that how that the man.
She's man bashing again, guys. I cannot believe it.
Wait, no.
No, I'm playing.
Air bubbles, not men.
Not man.
The man, right? The man, as we
certainly.
air quote call it, right? They obviously, when I say they, these people that are tailoring the media, these are the same people that are tailoring the agendas that are happening in the world right now.
Okay.
This is where we kind of get back into conspiracies, right?
Okay.
We don't know what these people with real money are deciding to do, right?
Okay.
Because obviously, I'm not saying that we don't have real money, because I definitely work hard and make real money, period, right? As do you, I'm sure, right? So
you say it like that. Y'all know. Do I have to stand up? Do I have to stand? I'm gonna stand up.
Listen, it's good to know that you can make money and stuff like that, and it's good to know what you're doing in this world and where you're going. But my point is, we don't always know what the agenda is behind things. Like, example being COVID. I believe COVID was an agenda, like many other things that lead to, world disasters. We're in it, like the whole Palestine Israel thing is still going on right now.
The episode's coming soon.
Living our happy days, being grateful for life. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in this world that we are not focusing on, because what we are focusing on is what is being fed to us in the media.
Or being distracted by.
What we're being distracted by. Unless you are somebody that is already quite self-aware, and I don't want to say, you are a conspiracy theorist. Like I said in a previous episode, I feel like there's a silver like kind of, what's the word, silver lining of truth in it, right? So I don't know, just basically know your facts. Obviously, we don't always know what's going on, right? There's always a big agenda, basically. Right. But as a society, we don't support each other. Only now it's been something that's been a topic of discussion to support each other in black-owned businesses.
All right, then how about this? I'm going to pose this. So everything you said there, I agree. So in a sense, you're basically saying that the majority of the time, our culture, yes, although it's being fed to us, we kind of bring the trouble onto ourselves based on what we consume. But like you said, you want a jacket?
I'm good.
It's like a case of, let's say, for example, it's like, let's say, music. Like we said, we spoke about drill music before. I feel like the way drill music was pushed we as a culture, it's not their responsibility to say that, oh, we're not going to put it out there. I feel like we as a culture should have said, we're not going to stand for this. Anyone making drill music,
I'm not gonna listen to this. This shit's not fire. Come on.
yeah, we could, but like I'm ghetto as hell. I can't help it. You know what I mean? So those things are appealing to you, but then as you grow older and as you start to discover more about yourself, that's what I was gonna say. As you start to discover more about yourself and you start to discover more about your culture, you start to realize that yes, although it might be beneficial in that moment, because that's what people were saying, that it's helping people get out of the hood and that, so then that means it's a good thing. Right. It might be beneficial within that moment, and what you're getting out of it immediately might be beneficial, but then in the long run, you're setting yourself up to lose.
People need to be self-responsible.
Who we
Fuck
set
it.
ourselves up to lose.
You have to be self-responsible. That's just like saying every gangster movie inspires me to go and shoot people. That's not true. No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. And you have to want to do that already, right?
But then
you
there's going to
have
be
to
something.
know.
But then a justification.
No, it's not justification. You have to be self-aware as a
But that's
human
for you.
being.
That's for
making
you
your own
and me,
decision.
though. That's different. But for people that need validation, let's say, for example, the only reason why I feel like the only reason why I brought up this subject is because I feel like our culture, the way it's being pushed out to people, the way it's being pushed out to the kids, it's being pushed out in a way where it doesn't allow us to be indifferent or allow us to be more than what they want to show us as to be. Let's say, for example, right, black women right now are overly sexualized. No matter what anyone wants to say about it, although they want to say, oh yeah, you have to protect and you have to uplift black women, right? Yes, we have to protect. Hold on,
I was watching something. I'm agreeing. Can I agree?
No, not yet. You can't agree. No, you're not allowed.
See, this is men. This is men.
I'm playing, I'm teasing it.
No, literally.
You're making it too easy.
Okay, continue.
I feel like black women are then going to say, right, you have to uphold and respect us. I'm like, yeah, fair enough, cool. Like when they'll get onto shits and gigs about the whole him not defending black women when Andrew Schulz was getting on to them. But all right, cool. When media push out an artist like Sexy Red, I'm sorry. But as a black woman,
Get sexy.
I ain't got no. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Yes, like I said, but I'm ghetto as hell though. So something like that, based off what I've come up on, obviously that's appealing to me because it's what I'm familiar with. But just because I'm familiar with it doesn't mean that it's good. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Just not listen to it. Like even with drill music, I try my hardest. Even in the gym now, I basically changed my whole approach to things because I realized that with our culture, although you might say, it's not good, sometimes we still support these things. Although you might say, it's not beneficial, we still don't denounce it. Like for example, I feel like, let's say young kids out there, if you see your guy and he says, I want to become a drill artist, tell him, my guy, for real, if you can make music, why not just make music that's appealing to everyone? Why do you have to go with what seems to be working for everyone? Because it's not working for everyone.
Okay.
Majority of the people, majority of the people you see contributing to this dangerous and self-destructive culture, you could tell that these people aren't a part of our culture in a sense. You could tell they're just trying to reap the benefits of the culture within that moment, rather than obviously wanting to benefit the culture. Because I'll put it like this: if you can allow your guy to go out there and put his life, or to put his life on the line for something that you believe is going to benefit a place that you don't even have any ownership in, I'm sorry, you can't say you have love for that person. You can't say that you love black culture. You can't be for black people if you're doing harm to black people. Do you know what I mean? And
let me tell you something.
You can't get onto the snow bunnies.
Let me tell you niggas something. Yeah, the game don't love you. Right? The game don't love nobody.
You see what I mean? But she's right though. In fact, before we even continue, I want to bring up just one more thing since we're on the media thing. The whole thing with Chris Cabba. Everyone knows what's going on by now. We all know.
Rest in peace, Chris.
We all know what bro's done and whatnot and what. But it doesn't justify what happened to him. However, within that moment, the way we're depicted and shown in our culture, yes, the officer is to blame for acting like that in that moment. But in that moment, CK should have known, right, these people, they're going to move mad. First and foremost, I'm a black man. Number two, I am handling the vehicle in a dangerous way. Doesn't justify the actions that came following, because the officer should have never been standing in front of the vehicle. Everyone knows how a tactical stop works. Keep yourself out of harm's way.
Let me tell you guys something, yeah? No, I'm going to speak, right? Because these police, they ain't shit.
And some of us, man, ain't as well. We have to be honest with that.
No, stop it.
It's facts, though.
Stop.
Okay. No, go on.
These police ain't shit, right? They cover themselves, right? They make mistakes just like average human beings. They are the biggest gangsters of them all, right? They're the biggest thugs.
They're the biggest gangsters.
Right?
So why are we trying to compete with them?
We're not competing with them. Let me tell you something. They want to do whatever it is the fuck they want to do and wear a badge and do it.
But wouldn't you
There's
say
some people, right, that get into the business for safety, but every system is corrupted. Okay, I have a friend who he was killed. Okay, my friend was killed.
rest
Okay,
in peace, condolences?
rest in peace, Troy Girl. He is not the biggest thug. Okay, he's not out here. He's not plug of the year. Okay, but he is his mum's only son. Okay, and he's not here anymore. He's gone, and that's fucked up. And police don't actually care about black people. I mean, I can't speak for every person, but I think the majority of us are definitely attacked, definitely targeted, and that's just not in America, it's here as well. So as a society, we are always targeted. So it feels like it's easy to target each other, even amongst each other's own community. But that all that shit needs to fucking stop. Because at the end of the day, right, there is so much shit to this storyline that you don't even know who a motherfucker's real friends was. When you die, you need to know who the fuck is your real friends.
100.
Even before you die,
100.
you need to know who the fuck your real friends are, right? Shit is not like we're here not by chance, right? Every day is not promised.
Gifted.
Okay, is gifted 100%. And I feel before he died, we had a good link up. We chilled, we vibed. Do you know what I'm saying? Had I not had that link up, I wouldn't have felt like I knew who that person was because they're gone now. Do you understand?
100. And I thought about, can I just say one thing? Let's say, we'll move on from that subject because I don't know the situation around that. I'm not fully aware of the details.
My
but with
point
the
is,
CK,
yeah.
no, that's understandable. That I do get in terms of us uplifting ourselves and what. But with the CK thing, I feel like with the image that we propagate for ourselves, we don't help. Like, me personally, the only reason why I believe that officer should have been held accountable was because I don't feel like in that moment he felt sorry for Chris. Now, me personally, the way I see it as a police officer or as any kind of law enforcement, your number one job is to ensure the safety of the public. Your first priority in your mind should never be to take someone's life. In fact, that should be the last thought you would ever want to do. You should really and truly, you should want your life to be taken first before you have to take someone else's. Unless it's absolutely certain that if you don't, which is still wrong.
There's just certain people, there's just bad apples, okay? There's
Right.
just bad apples.
Yes, but then this is why I go back to the culture. The way he was propagated, even though yes, they didn't know who was in the car, they knew what that vehicle was associated with. Doesn't give it an excuse, but they knew what was going on in and around.
Who's they?
The police. They knew what was going on with that vehicle. They knew what that vehicle was involved in. So already they have a perception. So now, with that perception, because remember, at the end of the day, people, I know what people might say, we're all still human beings. Once you have a perception of something, you're kind of stuck with it. You know what I mean? Everyone knows what I'm talking about. You're going to be thinking, you're going to be like, yeah, fair enough. So I feel like with his actions following what was happening, not to justify the police actions, but it contributed to what happened. And this is where I go back to what I'm saying about our culture. Let's say, for example, he has some friends around. I said, bro, you know what? I don't feel like what we're doing is right. Let's try and change our life. Let's do something else. Let's stop doing this and this and that. But that's not what our culture is about. Our culture is, yeah, bro, you know what I mean? Let's just do what we do. You know what I mean? Get how we live. That's become our mantra. And by it becoming our mantra, it's kind of become the way that we literally live in now. Before, there used to be, or I feel like in the black community, we used to strive to be a lot more. Now it's almost as if, I feel as if we're okay with what people used to think of us. And it's almost like, all right, cool. That's what they used to think of us. So we're going to be like, we're going to show them that, yeah, that's exactly what we are. And I personally feel like that is going to result. So
basically you're just saying, like, just don't be a statistic.
No. I feel like we've already passed that. I feel like we've become the statistic. Now it's a point where now we're validating the statistic. Now we're validating the statistic.
I feel like that's what that movie was about. Like, the statistic has been made.
And now we're validating it with actions. Yeah, 100.
And it's a fucking cycle. So, again, if you haven't watched the movie They Clone Tyrone, watch it. Drop your comments and tell me what you think about the movie. If you feel like you understand why we're bringing it up in terms of how it relates to how our culture is being portrayed. Because that's how basically they look at us, like, for real. Like, on a real level. And if they could do all that shit, they fucking would.
100%. In fact, what makes you think they haven't done that stuff?
Cool. Let's just say they did. Right? Let's just say.
Before you continue.
What?
Can I give a light spoiler before you continue?
No, you don't give no spoilers.
And that's a light one. It's just to give people like an overview of what we're talking about before they go and watch it? Or do you want them to watch it first? You know what? Go watch it.
Go watch it. They Clone Tyrone. It's on Netflix. Okay.
Serious movie.
It's a good movie.
It's got Boyega in it.
Yeah, man. I just think definitely be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see. I think definitely we could all copy and paste and do what we see personified on the media, but that's not authentic to everyone's like real purpose in life. I feel like you get lost in what's not your purpose and then you get taken out, and that's just what happens. I feel like just stick to your purpose.
Does the culture allow you to find your purpose, or does the culture allow your purpose to be fluid and free? Or do you feel like it
you need
keeps us in a
character for
bubble?
your purpose. You need strength for your purpose. Sometimes you have to go through the valley before you get to the mountain.
Okay. Oh, that's a bar and a half. Oh, you've been watching my YouTube, innit? It's definitely our YouTube. It's the same YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely people get stuck in the valley.
Okay. I feel you on that one. All right. So as they walk through the valley of the shadow of death, should they fear evil?
You should never feel evil.
Yeah, I feel now. Okay. Now, all right. So we've spoken a little bit about the negatives. Go watch They Clone Tyrone. Bring the nuance all together. Trust me. Once you watch it, you'll realize exactly who is calling me.
Find your purpose in this world. It's
Amen.
not easy. I'm not going to say I found my purpose, but every day that you wake up, that's your chance to find it.
And it's not easy to find purpose. In fact, before we move on to the next bit, it's not easy to find purpose, because this is another reason why I feel like a lot of the kids of today are becoming kind of lost in the source.
Because I find purpose in the little things.
100%. Even waking up, being able to wake up the next day in itself is a purpose. I know people might think, oh, it's so simple, but I feel like
it's such a blessing.
in this day and age, I feel like everyone's taking the simple things for granted, like just being able to take your own breath, being able to walk down the road, being able to provide yourself with things, being able to...
If you can have a hot bath and a hot shower,
amen.
like, amen.
If you keep yourself warm.
So
you know
good.
I mean?
Like, it's such a blessing, like the little things.
And you don't need to rush through life, no matter what anyone may tell you, no matter how anyone will make you feel. I feel like the culture has got us in a position where we feel like where we need to make it right now. It might not be your time to make it right now, because you could make it right now, and then God forbid, it all ends tomorrow. How would you then feel in that moment? Do you know what I mean? So take the time, take the steps going forward, and do your best to try and be positive and to not propagate the negative things, because right now in this day and age, it's easy. For example, let's talk about the young Philly thing, all right? So there's recently been a couple more updates on what's been going on. So apparently the person is allegedly a sex worker.
She's a sex worker.
However,
apparently she's a lying ass.
All right. However, that's still no excuse. Now, for all my guys out there, we all know that in this day and age, these streets ain't what it used to be. Okay, there's a lot of freakiness going on. All right, there's a lot of outside interests. However, I feel like outside interest going on. However, I feel like a lot of the man are getting kind of lost in the sauce. Yeah, albeit some people say that it's because some man don't have experience in that.
We're lost in what source?
Because I believe that
what source are they
getting? I feel like the only reason why a young Philly got caught up in that kind of situation is because of experience, plain and simple. Because I feel like if he had a bit more experience with women like that, because hot take, if you're an OnlyFans, you're a sex worker. Argue me in the comments. I don't care how you're doing it. You might say I'm not selling myself. As soon as you got a price.
We had this conversation already.
Yeah, I know, but people be arguing me about it and trying to think they're going to change my mind. As soon as you got a price next to your name, you've sold yourself. I hope people understand this. There is no ifs or buts about it. You're a sex worker. That's what OnlyFans is for. Deal with it. Go to counseling. So,
I mean, I'm not on there, but I don't think it's just for that. I mean, I had this conversation with you already. I don't agree with the sex work. I don't agree with that.
It's sex work though.
But if you don't do sex work, I remember I gave you the scenario.
Okay, it's still solicitation then. It's still solicitation. You're still selling something. You're still selling yourself. Well, however anyone, you're still selling yourself, okay? So don't be putting no one down. Go to therapy.
So if I'm a dance teacher and I do private dance classes, right?
On OnlyFans. What happened to Zoom? What happened to Microsoft Teams?
Okay, so on OnlyFans, you have the subscription basis.
Yeah, right? No one got PayPal anymore. You see, this is what I mean. You see all of these excuses that we're only trying to come up for women, yeah? This is another thing about culture.
I'm just trying to say that not everybody is a fucking sex worker.
But
I think
the people that use that excuse are sex workers though, which is the mad thing. But they're just trying to make it seem as if they're not. Like, I get it. You're saying
I'm not on OnlyFans, though.
I know, but I get what you're saying. That there's people out there that are doing other things, but that's like a pipeline for publicity, because they know that, right, cool, people are going to see me on here, and it's going to be uncanny to see a business workshop on a website that's made for selling porn. All right, that's what OnlyFans is for selling porn. And people are gonna be like, all right, you're on here. Have you got other stuff? I get it. That's the type of advertising. People get that. It's not called marketing. However, the people that are on there claiming to be creative by showing off skin and yash,
Okay, I don't want to talk about OnlyFans.
solicitation. But going on forward with that, do you feel like I almost forgot where I was? So going back onto that, do you feel like the way have I forgotten? Do you remember where we were? Because that one got me charged up. I had to for someone 10 minutes. Do you remember where we were?
He was basically explaining about how OnlyFans is sex work.
Oh, yeah, OnlyFans is sex work. The image that you put out there is important. And if you put yourself out in a certain way, expect to get a certain kind of perception. We're talking about young Philly and the sex worker. So I feel like with young Philly, the only reason why you got in that trouble was number one, because of the lack of experience, and number two, word on the street. See, that lack of experience and word on the street is killing so many men.
Lack of experience, how though? Like in terms of dealing with that type of...
If you know you... All right, so some women like to believe that their behavior is acceptable. However, what they don't realize is that the behaviors they demonstrate are... I don't have to say, I don't want to say it because...
Some men like to believe that their behaviors are acceptable. However...
Yeah, 100%. I agree. No, that's what I'm saying.
Delusional.
It's a two-way street. There you go. That's the one. They are delusional. So let's say, for example, if I'm a male, right? And I'm out here and I'm constantly moving to bare babes, bare babes, bare babes. And then one day I find the babes and I tell her, take me seriously. Whereas on the street is, I'm always out here moving to the darlings. How do I expect her to perceive me? And can I hold her accountable for that perception? Yes or no?
It's down to you. It's down to you.
But so it's down to my own actions, right? So once again, with these women who claim not to be sex workers, but the image they propagate, but the image they propagate is that of a sex worker. Because let's think about it. The way the majority of women dress today, not all, but the way the majority of women dress today is how a sex worker would have dressed. I know a lot of people are going to say, nah, she's just being free. Yes, sex workers are trying to be free as well. It shows you what they have on show. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying accept what it is. It is what it is. You can't change it and then try and be someone else because it's then become...
That's like saying, look, she's wearing a short skirt and now she's walking down the road and she got raped. But look what she was wearing. She was wearing a skirt.
No, the rape is wrong. I'm just saying, but just know that you're revealing yourself. And yes, that you revealing yourself is going to cause temptation. Everyone knows about temptation. No one's going to deny that temptation doesn't exist. It does. However, it is the man's fault for not controlling himself. 100% put him in the bin under the jail. Do you know what I mean? But for the ladies, I feel like for some, it's not going to mitigate a circumstance because some people are just sick. But I feel like there would be a lot more defense if, I'm not going to say it's a lack of self-respect, but if there was accountability, if there was a bit more accountability for yourself, because the only reason why we call prostitutes is because of what they do and what we see and how we perceive what they do. Would I be correct in saying that?
Okay, yeah.
So then why wouldn't you have that same feeling on the first impression that you give someone? That doesn't make sense to me. And then why would you say it's wrong when someone takes that impression based on how you basically allow people to perceive you, based on how you're demonstrating yourself to other people? And I feel like that's kind of also contributed to the culture, like you're talking about Sexy Red and what she's propagating. I feel like our black women have spent so long being strong.
Okay, so she's promoting her culture. That's what she's
not promoting her culture.
Yes, she is.
This is what I mean. Once again,
what?
You said she's promoting her culture. As soon as you say that,
promoting whole culture.
Oh, whole culture. So yeah, 100%. So yeah, she's promoting whole culture.
See, why are you so quick to object? Let me speak.
My apologies.
Anyway,
I didn't hear. Hard to hear it.
There's a difference between being a hoe and there's a difference between being a bad bitch.
Okay. No, there is not.
Shut
Don't
up.
lie to you.
No,
there's a difference between being a hoe and a good woman.
Are you a bad bitch? Are you a woman?
The first one.
Are you a woman? Do you have a vagina? No?
She's trying to draw me out. Trying to draw me out. I am. Okay. I ain't going to get involved in that conversation.
So, right. It's not... Men have their own opinions regardless. We know that. As women, men will forever have their own opinions. And you're not going to stop men from having their own opinions. So you think whatever you want to think, but right now, shut the fuck up. Okay? Cool.
But talking to you, bro.
When it comes to the facts now, there is a difference. But there is a very thin line between the two. Okay? And that all depends on your character and your behavior and literally how you carry yourself. I would say it's very obvious what a hoe is, right? I don't need to get into that too much, right? But in terms of what a bad bitch is, that's very definitive and is very subjective in its own way, right? how I view a bad bitch, right? I could call myself a bad bitch without being disrespectful to myself because I respect myself highly. I am a queen, right? And I think very highly of myself and I vibrate highly, right? My frequency is very unique and very authentic. And I think I'm a very high caliber woman, not just because I'm saying that, just because I've been through the valley, right? And I've had my mountain moments and I've had my valley moments. So I understand what it means to be a strong bitch. Do you get it? Not even in a sense where I have to be a bitch to somebody, but if I need to, I can. But I've always said to myself, no matter what life experiences I go through, I will always remain authentic to who I am and always keep a pure heart, because life will come and test you, the devil will come and test you, right? And have you go through the trenches so that you can be a bit of a bitch. But the point is, again, back to the point of being a strong black woman, that is a real thing. Like, that is a real thing, and it's not something to wear as a badge of honor. It just is what it is, type shit. And so if you know, you know, right? And so how I carry that energy about myself is bad. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I carry it with flair. I'm a fly woman. I carry it with style, okay? Not just because I'm saying it, because I worked hard to get to a certain point, and there's no question about it. I'm not going to doubt it. No one's going to deter me from my own perception of myself, okay? So therefore, I see something, I see a goal, I'm going to attack it, right? I have a plan, I'm going to proceed through to it, okay? No matter what obstacles may come my way. That is a bad bitch, okay? As much as doing all the other sexy stuff, okay? So at the end of the day, what about bitches, that's on you, but at the end of the day, there's definitely a difference. So these women, they can be wives. You know what I'm saying? We know people in the media, obviously we're not in that caliber of celebrity status, yeah, but
Soon
what
come.
I was soon come,
Soon
do you know what I'm
come.
saying? Cool. But when it comes to what we see, I'm going to give a perfect example. Black China, Angela White, right? She just got engaged. We know her for being a bad bitch, and often we could...
No, she wanted us to know her for being a bad bee. First, we see her as a beautiful black woman. However, how she then started to portray herself then says, right,
Okay,
that's
she
a
started
bad
off as
bee.
a beautiful black
Black
woman,
woman. And there you go.
and
Then she turned into a
she
bad
turned
bee.
into a bad bitch, but she was always a stripper, so she could be a bad bitch from the get-go. Do you know what I'm saying? She was starting off as a stripper, right? So
not all strippers are bad bees. Some of them are just,
some of them are just
that
getting
coin,
paid to
trying
get to
that
nursing
dollar.
school, you know what I'm
That's
saying? Or
right.
whatever the case is.
Trying to get that
You know what I'm
dollar.
saying? But in the day, you gotta be bad to make that money in the club.
Can I just pause you right there? So
What?
all right, I get it. I get the whole perception of bad being and whatnot. I get it. It's empowering for women. But whatever happened to being a good woman, or just being whatever happened?
Oh,
Hold
wait,
on,
pause.
wait. Before you even go, whatever happened to just being a good woman, or is enough? Why is it
No.
now? Why is it now? Why is it now become like a double negative? Because think about it like this, right? Bad can never be seen as a good thing. Bitch can never be seen as a good thing. Because that's
And I'll fucking tell you why, right?
once
Because,
yes, and it is a double negative.
no.
Go look it up.
Look, being a good woman is more than enough. It is more than enough. And being a bad bitch doesn't mean to say they are not a good woman. I could be all those things
Yes,
and
it
I'm a
does.
good woman.
Yes, it does.
Right? No, it does
What
not.
does the term bad mean?
No.
This is why
But no,
people
but this is the thing though. You want to call, like, for example, you can say bad, but you can determine bad as being a good. I could say, raw,
No,
that
you
outfit
cannot.
no, but no, shut
This
up.
is
Yes,
why
I can.
these kids
I can
out
say,
here.
look, that outfit is bad, like, but in the way I'm saying it, I'm saying the outfit is really good. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The way you perceive it is key.
But you
How
said
everyone perceives
that
things
outfit
is
bad.
key. No, no, literally. How you say things is different. Like the colloquialism in our culture, I can say, damn, like shit. That's a bad outfit right there. That's a bad bitch. Like, that's not a bad thing. Like, that means she looks fire. That she looks great. She looks amazing. Yeah.
I forgot what that means. I have to Google it.
Anyway,
the guy throwing big words, he's trying to confuse me, so I forget my point.
It can be how you perceive things. Like, for example, you can see red, the color red, right? And you can see anger. You can see, hatred. You can see all these negative things that associate with the color red. And then another person can look at red and think of love. They can think of passion. They can think of flowers. They can think of roses.
But red isn't a thing with perception and you know
but
what I mean?
That's the same thing
we
as
do.
No. But you the way you see something, you give it energy the way you see it, right?
Yeah.
So the way I see myself, I'm giving that energy, right?
Okay.
So therefore, the way you see or view that word, you'll give that energy because that's the way you perceive it. And if you come across like-minded individuals that perceive that same word or topic the same way as you, then that is the flow or topic of conversation. And amongst all of you people, you're right. And then I come into the conversation and I oppose everything that you guys say based on my perception, then it's a different topic being had. But then I'm wrong because all these people say that they're right.
Okay.
Right?
Can I
But
ask?
we could all be wrong and right, or it could be whatever the case is based on perception.
Can I ask you one question then?
What?
Let's say, for example, now, yeah, it's your kids is bringing parents to work to school day, yeah, right? Your kid's going up on stage. Would you allow your child to refer to you? Here's my mom. She's a bad bitch. Yes or no?
Okay, first of all, that's a child.
Yes or no? This is a
That's
simple
a
answer.
child.
Right. So then, why would you allow? See, yes, that's a child, but remember how you're. This is why I'm saying this, because when I'm talking about the culture, I don't care about grown folks. Grown folks, you already made your decisions. I couldn't care less what happens with you. You're on your own. You know what I mean? You've lived long enough. You should know better. What matters to me is what it's showing the kids, because
Okay, pause.
wait, hold on. No,
I agree with you.
I can't pause.
Yes, you can pause.
I can't pause.
Okay, go
because
on.
I feel like the way things are being propagated or pushed forward, for us, we know it's bad, but because it's something that appeals to us, we're gonna accept it. But for the kids, the way it's being pushed and propagated, they're seen as if that's the norm. Like I said, I worked in schools for a long time. The way these kids speak, yes, I admit we spoke like that back in the day, or like we were exactly the same, but look what happened to the majority of us. Do you know what I mean? So then it's that, like she said, with Day Clone Tyrone, it's that repeat, that same cycle. Hence why I asked the question, would you allow your child to refer to you as a bad bee? If not, why would you do it to yourself? Because the longer you keep referring to yourself in that way, I guarantee it, your child will refer to themselves in that exact way. I know people might be saying, no, that's not the case. I've seen it live in the flesh. And you know what? Sometimes it's heartbreaking.
I just spoke to you about how I perceive that word
I know,
in terms of being a bad
but
bitch.
your perception
and then this
doesn't
is the
take
thing,
away
though.
the absolute.
No, it does. It does because
guys.
it does because how you perceive, like for example, that's like saying, look, in a household, right? The way that my child views me as their mother is not going to be the same way that my husband views me as his wife. It's not the same.
But your husband's perception of you, your child will take the way
it's
your
not
husband
the same.
treats you.
It's not the same perception. It's a different level of perception, right?
Why'd you say that?
It's because there's two different relationships. Do you get? But at the same time, my whole being, my whole character, my whole aura, everyone will be edified, getting what they need to get. So therefore, my child will see a good mother who is kind, who is all these great things, and also that is still the same qualities I'll have as a wife. However, separately, what you perceive is different levels, right? So therefore, when it comes to maybe a romantic level, right? Maybe that could be seen in that kind of way, but that's not even what I'm referring to as myself. I'm talking about on a perception of, you know what, you see shit, you get shit done, and you're very stern in your level of thinking, right? And you don't allow yourself to be deterred or easily manipulated, right? And you just handle yours. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just down to how you view it. My child could not do that just because it's not something that you would do. It's just not something that you do, just based on boundaries. Okay, right. There will be healthy boundaries. You could be whoever you want to be. You could be, this is like these strippers, right, that are bad bitches. I could call a stripper bad bitch, right? Who's a good mom.
She's a hoe, of course.
But what did you say?
Because she's a hoe. That's what.
No, but maybe she just wants to pay the rent and she's got a kid and she's got no baby daddy.
By hoeing. That's fine. I don't mind you paying your bills by hoeing. Just don't be trying to make it seem like it's anything else other than hoeing.
She's not a hoe.
No,
why does she have to be a hoe?
But that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. But don't try and make it seem as if it's any, because the term bad bitch, we all know what the term bad bitch is for. We all know it's a justification for whole behavior. Hold on, let me land. We all know that calling someone a bad bee is a justification for whole behavior. The basis of human nature is finding justifications for things that we believe we should be allowed to do. I realize this because think about it like this, right? Look at it.
I can hear your point, and I'm not going to agree with what you said, but I agree with it from your perspective. From my perspective, I really said what I had to say.
Yeah, no, but your perspective is different. Your perspective, because once again, you're a woman, so you're talking about it from the empowerment way. I'm talking about it from the way of.
Yeah, because that's the only way that that's what you guys do. In a scenario, right, where we were both talking about the same topic, yeah. In one hand, I'm speaking about myself in an uplifting way, yeah, even though it could be something that's become so demeaning, yeah, and that's what I feel like what men do. I feel like men take things and they make it so demeaning and make it so
make it demeaning. It's either is or isn't.
No.
I can't make anything. Yeah,
no, because before before. Okay, separate the words, right? Bad and bitch. Just separate the words.
Yeah, still double
Just
negatives.
separate it.
Okay.
Right? It's cool, double negatives. But then you turn those things into double positives.
How?
Because
the action is
behind, like for example, behind the word bad, there's it can be flipped into a way that you can view it as good, right?
True.
Right? I gave that example already.
Yeah,
right?
I remember the example, and I'm not saying that can't be, but I'm just bear in mind, I'm not saying
and
that.
I can say bitch in how many ways? Bitch.
But that's also not healthy for our culture.
Bitch.
But that's also something not healthy for our culture. Like all the man them always saying nigga. Nigga ain't good for our culture because half of the man them don't even know what that word means. Or half of us are never gonna know the actual effects or impact.
Bitch.
God damn. Half of us aren't gonna know the impact that word had on our culture. So even us saying it, we're never gonna say it in a way where it's gonna affect someone. But the term bad bitch, in my opinion, I think it's unhealthy because it's adding an unhealthy layer of justification for whole behavior because it's being mixed.
Be responsible. That's the same thing that we're talking about. Listen. If the TV says go jump off a bridge, are you gonna do it? So, be responsible for your own actions.
Actually,
everyone
yes,
can be responsible for their own
in a position
actions.
of influence because
you can be in a position. Listen, life is gonna test you. Life is gonna influence you. The devil will keep influencing you left, right, and center. Stand 10 toes down on your fucking principles
and have a bit of self-respect in a sense. I'm not saying that women who call themselves baddies don't have self-respect, but I feel like they've kind of misunderstood and misconstrued how that makes them look and seem. Because I get it, for a woman it has a completely different meaning, but for a man, once you hear the term baddie, especially a man who knows how the terminology began and where it's originated from, you can't help but think, God, I don't even need to say it. All the guys know how the meme goes. I don't even need to say it. It's just one of those things where, me personally, if my sisters or my daughters, if they ever try to, they know the look that they will be getting from me. I'll be like, listen.
Yeah, but that's not your business.
You deserve. It's the 100%.
That's not your business.
It's 100% my business.
No, it's not.
If my daughter says that, it
may be if she's a teenager or something like that. As an adult, that's not your fucking business.
If my daughter as an adult says she's a bad girl, I failed. Like, plain and simple. I've done something. She should just express herself. Like, why does it have to be bad B when it comes to black women? Because
yeah, but that's
why can't it be a beautiful black woman? Why does it have to be I'm a bad black?
Did I not just explain all these different characteristics to explain myself as well?
Yeah, no,
but I'm not saying it has to be called that way, right? Or you have to address these things or say it's a characteristic trait that is something that needs to be had.
I'm talking about the people using it.
I'm someone's daughter as well, so this is the point. So when it comes to
you don't call yourself a bad bee. You said you were beautiful before. You didn't say you were a bad bee. You just said bad bee.
No, but in moments I could be like, yeah, I could be a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? I am a good woman. Period. That's never going to change. I'm a great woman. I have great characteristics. Okay, I'm not perfect. Neither is nobody in this motherfucking earth. But at the end of the day, my heart is gold and my mind is pure, and so is my heart. End of the day, I have a spirit that is beautiful, and so is my energy. I uplift myself. I speak to myself very highly. I treat myself with care. Okay, end of the day, so I know what it means to be, like I said, a high caliber woman, a high value woman, and just to protect your energy and to know that you are just a queen. You know what I'm saying? That's just not, a figure of speech. Like, really, you carry a good energy about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So don't let anyone come and to try to lower your vibrations. I'm speaking to all women out there, even men as well.
Amen.
Men, don't allow people that are actually delusional, stop being delusional. I've been delusional before, so I understand. I can talk from experience. Just stop it, okay?
I'm glad you admitted it.
Shut the front door, because you wasn't even there in this time frame. You can't say that I'm glad that I admitted it.
I'm there in spirit. Do you know?
You was not there.
I'm there in spirit. I've been around from day.
You wasn't there. My point is, right? Reality is can be definitely what you make it, but at the same time, what you seem to be surrounded by can be pretty shit sometimes.
100. Isn't it down to you to try and?
It depends on where you are mentally. It depends on what is actually attacking you.
Isn't that also down to you though? Because I've been wrestling.
You have to be. Look, you have to be mentally strong to make certain decisions for yourself.
I mean.
So I think definitely make sure you create that environment for yourself, men and women. And surround yourself with people that you can trust, I guess. Not that you can trust everybody 100%, because I don't think you can, but I think you definitely need to.
You can,
No,
but
you can't.
you just got to open
You
yourself
cannot.
up for
You
disappointment.
cannot trust anybody.
Yes, you can. Just
100%.
be open for
No, you
disappointment.
can't.
It's just that plain
Yeah.
and simple. Because a lot of
Definitely
people,
be
you just be open. You can't trust someone. Just know that they might
prepared to
disappoint
be
you.
disappointed by anybody, but
Still trust 100%. Just know that people are going to let you down. That's it. That's what it is.
99.9%.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a much better statement because no one's perfect. Everyone's going to be making mistakes. Hence why I'm saying, although I may be slandering our culture 100% deservedly, I'm not saying that our culture is all bad. We have so many good things. Like, for example, the podcast that recently come up, even though shits and gigs are going for a little bit right now, their podcast, they've brought the whole black and light skin dynamic into a whole new scene. Everyone knows how that dynamic used to go back in the day, but look at them. A black guy, a light skin guy, two friends have one of the largest platforms. Something a lot of people never thought they would have seen, but it's happening, especially in London, you know what I mean? UK and whatnot. Same with the No Rouge show, Filthy Fellas, all of those things that are contributing positively. Yeah, they might have their controversy, but they're never putting our culture down. In fact, it's showing that our culture has like a soft side, which is something else I want to talk about before we even finish. I feel like our culture has been propagated in a way where everyone assumes that we're naturally tough. And that's why also, going back to the CK thing, why I believe he was treated in that way. I feel like we've propagated the image for so long and in such a way where people genuinely believe that we as a people can take anything. People believe that we don't have a right to be vulnerable, 100%, but people don't believe that we have a right to be vulnerable. People don't believe we have a right to feel anything else other than anger and outrage. Do we contribute to that? Yes. Can we change that? Yes. Do other cultures contribute to it? Yes. But at the end of the day, that's not going to change unless we decide to make that change. Unless we decide to start denouncing certain things. Like, for example, like I said, with drill music, I'm trying to cut down my consumption. Guys out there, if you're still making drill music, if you can make drill music, you can make regular rap, you can make conscious rap. That's starting to come up. Everyone's seeing the
conscious
career.
Rap is lit. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to keep talking about
killing
some old beef,
fucking hoes and all of this stuff. It gets
beef,
boring, man.
Some retired beef and like, let's be real. I'm gonna call you men out. Yeah, you guys out here
and you women.
On some, no,
you should call out the women. You have no right to be talking to some man like that. You see what I mean, guys? I got you.
You shut up.
You telling me to shut up?
So
you tell me
I'm gonna call these men out here on the roads. Yeah, you guys can't fight. You guys can't fight. That's why you feel like you need to pick up a gun. Or
what?
You guys can't
you
fight.
Be spanking out here. What you talking about? Get man, you don't do like that.
You're not on the road, so you're not in
I'm definitely doing that pavement right now. 10 toes. Well, actually, souls.
You
2 souls.
Can't fight.
2 souls.
If it really came down to one-on-one having to fight for a man's respect, yeah. Can you do you not even know how to square up? Because as women,
why are you squaring up?
We know how to do that.
Oh, you're actually talking like she got hands, people.
Listen, I will never doubt whether I have hands or not. I will always believe I've got hands. I'm sorry. You got to believe in yourself because a motherfucker would doubt you.
Everyone needs hope. Everybody gotta have a dream.
Okay. Listen.
I'm gonna put a Franklin meme in there at the end.
My point is, right?
No, I'm joking. She got hands. She got hands.
No one's testing me.
Wait.
Because they don't want it.
God damn it.
They don't want it. But I don't want it for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
it for
that.
You.
No, because for me, if I have to felt the need to put my hands on somebody, I would feel like it was justified because it will be in form of a retaliation. I'm not going to attack somebody unprovoked. Okay, 100. So therefore, if I have to defend myself or protect myself, it's a long day for you. So therefore, I'm not going to do that. But when it comes to certain things, right, you have to know how to protect yourself, which 100. I definitely agree. And everyone's always beefing each other when it comes to the road, because at the end of the day, the road is about territory and money, right? So
it used to be.
It used to be that. It used to be that. Now I don't know what the fuck it's about.
It's fear. Now it's nothing but pure fear. Everyone feels like they need to get rid of each other. It's crazy.
Remember I said the game don't love you, so get your money and leave. Have a flipping plan. That's what I'm saying. And don't be caught up in a situation you don't need to be caught up in. 100. I know people that have died just from going to parties. I know people that have been shot just by going to parties. And it's cool to have a good time and go to a party, but are these friends that you're going to the party with, are they going to get you into some shit?
Not even that. Are the people you're hanging around with, do they care about your life? Plain and simple. Are the people around, do they care about your life? And the majority of the answer for most of the guys on the road is no. Because if they did, they would tell you, bro, we shouldn't be doing this. Let's figure out a way to not.
That's the whole point of me saying the game doesn't love you. You have to know the game is a game, but you can have a real friend.
100. Yeah.
You can have a real friend.
100%.
But
And that real friend, they want the best for you. Trust me, they wouldn't want you out here putting
they
your
wouldn't
life on
want
the
you
line.
to exactly put your life on the
They
line.
do everything in their power to make sure that you have more options. And I feel like that's something that's kind of been lost because, like I said, we've kind of accepted what our culture is. But as I say that,
Don't accept defeat, no matter where you are in life. Don't accept defeat.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's what happens. You get to a place where you feel stuck, you get in that mindset of defeat, and then you just do whatever. Don't do whatever, because then whatever happens, and then you're gone.
There you go.
Okay?
You got to be strong.
So no.
And also, try, as a culture or as people, I feel like we need to have more accountability on ourselves and how we've portrayed ourselves. And we also need to have more accountability on what we're going to do to make our culture better and to have a better perception of our own culture. Like I said, I give an example of podcasts and other shows and whatnot. We didn't even get onto the 20v1s and whatnot, but you know what? We'll do that on a whole different
20 versus 1, that's some bullshit. But I think it's just that, like, everything is down to entertainment. I don't even find it entertaining. But every time I find people in the scenario, it's like,
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I'm gonna lie,
we embarrass ourselves a lot, and
it's a part of the ratchet TV like culture. Okay, we can have black entertainment.
Do you remember when to see ratchet TV, you had to be on the block? Whatever happened to that?
There's a level of entertainment that's just tailored for black people that's really, really ratchet and ghetto. Just because
that is not tailored for black people. See, this is a misconception a lot of people make. Yes, for a certain demographic of black people, it does bang for them, but it's not for us. It's for other people to watch and say, look at these animals. I guarantee you it. If you go and look at all the analytics and the statistics to who watches these shows, it's not a majority black people.
I mean,
you might have a few people here and there.
They don't like. It's like
it's what you think. Trust me, I know it's what you think. It's
everyone will obviously be looking, but at the end of the day, it's mostly for us.
Like, it might be for us, but we're not actually putting that much energy into it.
Do you think these neighbors are watching BET right now?
BET, but BET died a long time ago. BET is not what it used to be anymore because, like I said, it's not. I'm not talking about those things. That's a bit different. That's the whole network. I'm talking about the shows.
Exactly, no, but these things
that we don't consume our shows like that.
They are black networks for black people.
But BET is not owned by black people.
But watch it.
BET ain't owned by black people.
It's become so mainstream. But it's mostly the face of it is black, but behind it is.
Once again, the entertainment is black. The ownership is not.
How do you know that? Can you get the receipt?
Yes, I can. In fact, you know what? I will tag it in this video so you guys can go and look at the ownership of BET. I'm not going to say who owns it because that might be the end of our YouTube career, and we're not ready for that yet. We'll come for you guys soon.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of the things.
Be the change then. Influencer change. That's what we're here for.
Oh, you speaking about? You really been watching my YouTube? Our YouTube, in a sense. Been really been out here.
That's what's our YouTube.
That's what I just said. I just said our YouTube.
Anyways,
right.
So I guess that's why people live to see another day. What are you gonna do with your life? Are you gonna influence change? Are you gonna be the change? Are you going to?
That's all you can do, to be honest. I don't feel like anyone can influence any change. However, you can plant a seed in someone's mind that may grow into something beautiful. Or you can only hope.
Yeah.
You got anything to add?
Just stay blessed. You know what I'm saying? In terms of how you proceed throughout everything. I feel like, I wouldn't be here without God's grace, period. So I just think definitely stay prayed up. And yeah, that's what I got to say about that. And focus on what that purpose is that you got, why you got to be here, and not just, to be in a system or to be fed, agendas by the media.
Trust me.
Let's figure that shit out and do something with it, So that's what I'm here to do.
And don't be afraid to find yourself. You'll go through so many things, my people. Trust me. Story time coming soon. We're gonna be doing that very soon. But the journey that you're on, I know sometimes it might seem a bit tough. I know it might seem as if
it's a love-hate relationship with the journey. I'll be real. It's a love-hate relationship.
You might be stuck sometimes. You might feel like it's the beginning and all, but remember, you got to wake up another day. So guess what? You get to try for another day. And that's all life is. The constant strife in order for you to improve. So that once it's all done, you can finally say, you know what? All that struggle I went through was 100% worth it. It was preparing me for this moment where I get to fully enjoy everything I sowed, or I fully get to reap everything I have sown. Thank you, people, for watching. I'm your favorite host, MBS.
If he's the favorite, that's down to you. But anyway, Big rose, big brr, you know, the
you could be their
vibe.
favorite as well.
Have a blessed week and, you know, make good decisions for
Life.
yourself,
Life,
for
bro.
the better version of yourself.
Okay.
And yeah, just,
Thank God and smile.
yeah.
It's the one right there.
Vibrate high too, vibrate higher. Like, you could be here right now, which is comfortable in that place that's comfortable, that's cool, but like to see like change, like let's just vibrate higher. Like it feels good up here, like,
Amen.
you know. So
Amen.
that's it. I guess that's it.
You signed off as well.
I signed off.
Now. Nah.